everyone, and welcome back to Provipuff West. Woo! That worked really well. Great. Now, if you haven't noticed already, there are only 3 of us today. Myself, Rachel, Kat, and Alva. We have lost a Provipuff member. Sad music. Judith was not able to join us today, unfortunately, so she has wonderfully bestowed the blessing of allowing me to moderate for her. So I have all of her questions here, so please forgive me if it's not the best, but we're going to try it out today, so let's get started. Okay, so today, if you haven't noticed our title, we're going to be talking about Barbie and our review of the Barbie movie, but before that, we wanted to just go in not with just physical things, but also focusing on the spiritual side of things. So our kind of movie for today on the spiritual side is going to be the Sunday message. So yeah, I wanted to ask everybody how your week went and how you thought the Sunday message was. Was there things you realized, things you hope, things that were profound to you? I'd love to hear.
This morning I was praying and I was reflecting on this past week's message because I was having a hard time at the beginning of the week. I experienced the betrayal of love. I'm so dramatic. But somebody in my family really disappointed me, and that really hurt my feelings. And I had a very deep kind of codependent relationship with this person. And so when they disappointed me, I felt like, oh, I can never trust them again. They have betrayed my trust, and who do I have, right? I don't have anyone else. I was really close to this person. But I realized, I have God. I'm always going to have God, right? And but I didn't realize that immediately, right? I kind of went through some hiccups this week. I watched the Miraculous Ladybug movie 4 times.
If you didn't know there was that movie, it's from a show.
Yeah, shout out if you know Miraculous Ladybug, comment below. But yeah, I really loved the movie, and I became so obsessed with it and kept watching it over and over again because I love musical theater, and then the messages, I could always relate them back to God. But I think it was also sort of an escape for me. And so I realized I was doing that, and which is funny because this week's podcast we're talking about media, so I think it was perfect timing, right, for me to realize something from this. But I realized, when things don't go the way that we expect, right, when the reality is so much different than what we expect for our lives, it's so easy to get disappointed and to get discouraged and feel like, oh, everything sucks, it's never going to get better, and it's not going to turn out according to God's will, right? But God said he fulfills his will for you quietly, even if you have to go through hardships and difficulties. So I feel that through all of that I experienced this week, all the heartbreak, all the pain, I'm understanding God's heart a little bit better, right? But then also really going through suffering so I can help other people too. And that's the reality of faith, right? We have to go through things, but we expect once we start our life of faith, everything's going to be smooth and God's by our side, and we're never going to go through difficulties. So that's what I realized.
Awesome. Thank you, Kat. Okay, so for me, I really liked what you said, Kat, about it's true, because you think, especially growing up too, you would always think, oh, if God really exists, then why am I going through so much heartache? But just because God exists or is with you or you're his bride, that doesn't mean you're not going to have struggles and difficulties. I mean, look at Sansanim, the man of mission. So for me, from the Sunday message, the title itself was really shocking. Learn from me and believe it absolutely and live strong. So I couldn't help but immediately think of the situation Sansanim is dealing with, and just everyone in Providence, especially if you are in Korea right now with all the rallies and the just immense slandering that must be going on. And it also made me think of the Bible too, when Joshua had to take all the Israelites from the desert of Zin into the land of Canaan. I can't imagine, because at that point he's 20 to maybe 40 years old. They weren't living that long. back then.
Like 30 or something.
So, you know, but regardless, you have to now take care of all these people and lead people that are far older than you, that were with Moses at that time, and you have to take them into this new land that God promised to you, and then you have to destroy and defeat all of these other enemies. The amount of stress, like, I get stressed with my job. I'm a teacher, so I have to go in and defeat every single day 100 kids and get them to learn. It's a struggle. So I can only imagine how difficult that must have been for Joshua, which is why I think God told him, like, every time God says for us to be strong, it's because we're not strong right now. And that has to do with the scripture that they gave us, that was the message with Revelations chapter 3 verse 7 to 9, and the very end of it I really liked. It's like, although you had so little strength, you still held on and believed. I think that scripture was so moving because, yeah, I do feel a lot of times, I mean, Kat, you were just sharing you had such a hard time, and a lot of people I know have a difficult time just believing in God or being in this history. So staying in here and being strong, that's because we're not, and that's okay. God's saying that it's okay. Like, he understands, and he's with us, and he's going to be with us. And that the whole purpose of the rapture, and like why that happened and why it's still real, even if it doesn't feel like it, it's not because, you know, we know it's not our bodies, but it's because of the harmony. And the reason why the rapture is harmony, and harmony is true love. Like, it was so crazy that Sons of them said that God was like, oh, if you're fighting in between you, I'm not going to be with you at all. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That was really crazy. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, God. I have to really watch what I'm saying. And it's not just verbal fighting with other people, but it's also your thoughts. If you have a problem with someone, just like what Jesus was saying, it's like the Old Testament, you couldn't fight with people physically. And then in the New Testament, Jesus said, don't even hate your brother in your thoughts, because then you've already killed them.
Yeah.
So now it's even to the higher extreme where it's like, if you hate people in your thoughts, and you've killed them, and God's not going to be with you at all. So you won't have the love of God, and you won't be raptured. So that's even the higher level of extreme. And so it really made me focus on, okay, how am I going to treat my kids? What's my mentality going to be this week? Am I going to let myself be weak and succumb to the world and the just difficulties and the stress and the exhaustion? Or am I going to learn from the man mission? Am I going to believe that God is actually with me when I'm going to work, and am I going to be strong? So yeah, that is what I realized from the Sunday message.
So deep, so deep.
Yeah, that reminded me of kind of just like, I don't know now, just like inspired me, like that, like the whole part about it, like being harmonious, and like, you know, we have to be harmonious with each other. And I've been trying, like, I may not look like it, but I used to be very shy, like emo, like bangs with like I still have bangs, but like a thick curtain bang, you know, and I wouldn't really talk to anybody. But like I would slowly get out of my shell, but even at church, I would still, like, even now, I'm still shy to like talk to new people. And I know that when everybody kind of feels isolated, it can bring disharmony, not in the way that's like, oh, we're fighting with each other, but there's disharmony because we're not aligned, and we're like missing each other. And so I want to really be more open and be more friendly and like inviting people. That's what we're working on as a church as a whole. So, you know, we're doing good. But also, Rachel, what you said with like, oh, what Jesus said with when you're killing your brothers, like with your thoughts. You know, I used to, well, I still kind of do. I notice that I can hold like a grudge, like in my heart, like, and I may not show it, but like in my heart I'll be like, like they did this, and it's sometimes it's something so like stupid,
Right.
and I'll feel like this grudge, and then I'll like be simmering inside, and then I'll be like, oh, well, why was I so angry? Like, it's literally nothing. And I've been working on that like through my years, like in Providence, of like, instead of going to somebody and ranting and like being super angry or just simmering, like giving that to God and being like, okay, like sitting down and praying and being like, okay, like why do I feel like this? Like, let's work through it, and be like, and being more understanding of people's circumstances, because I feel a lot of times we're just like, you were down, why'd you do that? You know, and even sometimes I still do that, and I'm trying to work on being so reactionary, you know, because I'm kind of like that. But really understanding where people are coming from, because everybody has our own thoughts, and we're we're raised a different way. We all react a different way. Literally the synapses in our brains are all connected differently. And so really, coming from like how God would look at people and how he's so understanding and being like, okay, well, they did this, let me like help instead, or let me be more understanding and more inviting, or whatever the situation calls for. And entrusting all of myself to God, because my will, human will, kind of sucks anyway. But yeah, like throwing out my own preconceived notions that I've had before, and again giving it all to God, because whenever I put my own drop within God's perfect will, it's not his perfect will anymore, and he won't be able to work through me. And I want God to be able to work through me like the most that I can. So I'm really building myself up, right?
Amen.
Right? Living strong.
Amen. Awesome.
That's so good.
Okay, so that was our we're hoping to be able to do this whenever we have our podcast, just give our summary or what we realized from the Sunday message, and we would love for everyone to, if you feel comfortable or inspired, please go ahead and also share your thoughts on the Sunday message. I always gain so much from when I hear other people's thoughts, because I'm like, oh, I didn't hear that, or, oh yeah, that's so true. So we'd love to hear that. Moving on, we are going to now, we kind of gave not a review of the Sunday message, but a summary. We're going to also now do a summary of the Barbie movie, which I'm very excited for. So, first question. How do you feel that TikTok, before watching it, like media in general, how did you perceive the Barbie movie to be like?
Well, they were like, I'm crying in the club. Everybody was like, it was so sad. And then I remember seeing the ones where it was like me going to go call my mother to I don't know, tell her I love her or something like that.
I did see
and
that.
I was like, oh, is this like a really like deep mother bonding like show or movie or whatever?
Yeah, me too. I just saw first I saw all the pink, but then I asked my coworkers, and they were like prepared to bring tissues to the movie theater because they will cry. Yeah. And then I started seeing all the like Christian TikToks talking about, the Barbie movie and what they realized, and I realized, it's not so much about Barbie, but there's a deeper meaning.
Okay, so then I saw the same things too. It was really sad, etc., etc. After you watched it, what were your initial thoughts?
Why don't your initial thoughts were? Because she said it immediately after the movie. I was like, oh, girl.
But I want to, should I say mine first? Okay, so after I watched the Barbie movie, I was very excited. Also, I'd like to call out somebody right now. In the most loving way possible. So, whenever we went to see the Barbie movie, because we all saw it together as campus, and we got to dress up, it was super fun, but that was not the only reason why I went to see the Barbie movie, Pastor Sky. Yeah, it wasn't, when I went to see the Barbie movie, that was one of the reasons, dressing up, but I was also just really excited to hang out with other girls and see the movie in general.
Yeah, because I don't think men realize, like, the Barbie movies, there are other Barbie movies that have been established since the 2000s, and they're really, really old and nostalgic, and there's tons of them, at least 40 or something. They're genuinely good in the sense of message and building your confidence up. She's always saving herself and in a good way. But she can also be her own person. But she also falls in love sometimes, but it's not the main part. It's her finding herself and her going out and doing these things. Yeah. That's why we want to watch the Barbie movie, because we're yes, this is our moment. It's girly, it's camp, it's amazing. It's she is within her own realm, but not in a too much of a girl boss. Well, actually, no, let me take that back, because I don't want nobody to misconstrue my words. Anyway, go. Okay, sorry. Anyways, it wasn't the only reason we went, wasn't just to dress up, but it was because of that, because there was that nostalgia factor, and we watched Barbie growing up. But for me, as soon as I finished watching the movie, because it is very camp, like you were saying, Ava, as soon as it finished, I was so confused. I was like, what just happened? What did I watch? It was super colorful, which was super fun, and I loved all the outfits, because I'm very, fashionista. We're all wearing, we dressed on purpose, all pink. Shipping for Barbie.
But yeah, I was a little bit confused because there were some moments in the movie, which I guess spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the Barbie movie, we're going to be talking about it a lot. But there were so many parts, when she found the old lady in the kitchen randomly when running away from the CEO, Mattel, or whenever she was looking at all the visions of like past people's lives and deciding to become human. There was just so many things that I was like, what is happening in here? So I couldn't understand why girls were feeling so sad, because after with the preset or the preview of the TikToks where girls were crying because of the Barbie movie, when I watched it, I was just utterly confused.
She was
confounded. Lost.
She was literally in the theater. She was like, "What? What's so sad about that?"
Like, I mean, I got teary-eyed at one point. Like when we were watching, or Barbie was able to see the visions of people's lives and why it's beautiful to be a human. That was, of course, moving, because I'm just sentimental and I cry during movies. But then aside from that, I was just like, what? Yeah, why are people so sad? So that was my initial reaction. So I'd love to hear.
What about you, Kat?
I was really sad. Like,
it's different.
I was crying so much. Well, this is kind of crazy, but I watched the Barbie movie the day after my grandmother passed away.
Oh,
yeah, because I didn't have anything to do. Like she was taken to the funeral home, and I had to wait till Monday to like get things going. But anyway, so I used that like as an excuse to like cry, because I knew it was going to be an emotional movie, but I didn't expect it to hit all the like I really felt like it was a movie that I needed to watch, that helped me to realize how blessed I am to live in this time period.
Yeah.
Because the people who watch the movie who do not believe in Jesus, they all left feeling sad because they have no hope. Like that is the reality of their lives, right? Women are, put down sometimes, and we face all of these issues, and men too, right? And the movie didn't really offer a solution. It was just like, here's America, here's what we're like, and at least you're not alone in it, but like, what's the solution, right? Sorry, what was the question?
What was your thoughts? Initial thoughts.
I mean, I felt sad for the ending scene, because it's just, all the talk about ageism, like, oh, we're all gonna grow old and die, like that's pretty sad. But if it's only if you forget that there's heaven and that there's eternity, and you have to have faith in that, and I absolutely believe it. And I think at that time, because my grandma had just passed away, I was like, it was just kind of sad to watch that and to see. But I really was inspired by Barbie's bravery, like her willingness to become a human being. Because she was this made thing, right? She was just a body, right? A physical body, a doll, right? But then she decided to go and become a human being in Earth, right? And become a co-creator with the other people in Earth who create things, right? So instead of just being this made thing, she became a creator. And I think that's what I was able to take away, like, oh, because I came to this history, I'm no longer just a physical body. I'm not just a made thing. I am a co-creator with God. So I felt helpful after thinking about that.
Well, I'm gonna add, we also didn't watch the Barbie review of the guys because we didn't want to get mad. Because we liked the movie, and I can understand why some guys wouldn't like the movie. You're not a girl, so it's hard to understand.
I will say that a good chunk of the movie, while it was like feminine, like a lot of it was talking about men's struggles. And I know on TikTok I saw a lot of girls that were like, well, why is it so much about Ken? Like, why is there so much around Ken? Because like, like even when
Barbie.
I don't know. Like, it's like, oh, it's Barbie and Ken, but it wasn't just like, because a lot of guys take it as like, oh, it's feminism, you're putting down men, but like the whole movie, not the whole movie, but towards the end, when that conflict happened with the men and the women, she was still helping him through his issues, and she wanted him to be his own person and be better too, because she was like, this is toxic, like, you need to find yourself, because you are enough. Okay.
I'm just Ken, and I'm enough, and I'm great at doing stuff. You guys are great at doing stuff.
Yes.
I wanted to briefly bring up what you were just saying, Kat, with I do feel like a lot of girls and women in general feel as though they have to make themselves to fit a certain mold, specifically whatever the fashion is or the trend is. I'm sure guys feel this to some degree, like, oh, I gotta be bulky, or oh, I gotta dress a certain way or whatever. But I think for girls, it's so much more ingrained within us at such a young age. So I feel as though girls watching the Barbie movie, seeing that she no longer wanted to be just something that was made, like they too don't want to just be, oh, I have to look like Kim Kardashian, or oh, now I have to look like this celebrity. Like they don't want to have to feel as though they have to make themselves to be worthy enough or enough, but they want to also just be able to make their own things, become a creator of their own lives, of their dreams, of their wishes and their hopes. But then I guess it was sad because they had no outlet or form to do it, right? Because the mom was saying, I don't remember her name.
Gloria?
Oh, Gloria. She was saying like, oh, you have to be a part of the pack, but then you also have to be able to shine out in your own way.
Oh, she has the speech.
She has the speech. And I, you know, when I first heard that speech in general, I can understand why it was a little, like, really preachy, which I felt it was at first.
Yeah, it was a little
When
tad.
I
It was
first
just a tad,
watched
but, you know.
I was like, okay, I get it. But then I watched the movie the second time, and that's when I realized, and then I had a 30-minute talk with my mom about the movie because I really wanted to understand, and she was able to explain it to me. And so during Gloria's speech with the, you know, girls have to be skinny, but then you can't exercise, whatever, that whole thing when she was talking about how you have to be a part of the pack, but then you can't put other girls down or be competition because then it'll make other girls jealous or like whatever. I could understand how, I could understand where girls find difficulty in making and becoming a creator of their own dreams and hopes, but not wanting to put other people down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a part of the thing. Was there a particular scene that you guys really related to, or you could see the spiritual aspects of?
Well, I'll say my, like, favorite parts of the movie, besides, like, the campiness, I just like silly things, so I loved it. But the parts that were really, like, that, where I could see people were getting teary, and I even, like, teared up a little bit. I didn't cry, but I, like, teared up, is, like, the parts when she finally goes into the human world, and then she's, like, she sees the memories of, was it Gloria and her daughter, and then she's, like, seeing those memories, and then when she's sitting outside on the bench, oh, I love that scene, and then, like, everything's flashing by, and she's seeing the smiles and the people, and then she turns to the lady and she goes, "You're so beautiful." Yeah. And what did the lady say? She was like, "I know."
It was a little
like
old lady.
I didn't
She
remember.
said, "I know." Yeah, it was so beautiful.
And then more towards the end, when she was, like, Barbie was, like, sitting there on the floor, and she's like, "Well, like, I'm not beautiful anymore. Like, what do I do?" And she's like, "Well, you can live your life." And then at that point, Barbie didn't even want to be Barbie anymore. She wanted to be Barbara. Like, she couldn't stay in this perfect plastic world anymore because she had kind of saw, like, the reality, and she saw how beautiful life was. And I feel like a lot of people get so caught up in doing the routine, like in the morning, "Hey Barbie," dun, dun, right? And they did the same thing day after day after day after day after day. And then when she finally sat down and she looked at the real world, she was like, "This is so beautiful.
Right.
Like, look at this, like, creation." And that made me think of, like, God, like, when I first started coming to, like, Providence, and, like, I finally, like, opened up my third eye, you know? No, my spiritual eyes, I was like, wow, like, this earth is so beautiful. Like, every single I remember Sunset said one time, like, God is in every single blade of grass that is moving, in the wind, and within everything. And so now whenever I go outside and I like to be aware and in the present and being like, this is so beautiful. Like, I know I have these worries, but they cannot consume me.
Right.
Just so, like, in the message, let me bring out the quote. Oh my gosh. Where is it? Oh, where is it? Oh no, what was it? What was it about? Well, I forgot. The inspiration came, and I did not grasp it quick enough.
That's so sad. But it's true. God is in everything. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, but that God's in everything, and, you know, within us and stuff. And then so I also thought of the end when she's in that dark room, like it's like black and white, and then like her mother came to her, and you can think of that almost as Holy Spirit, like a kind of similarity, you know, obviously not quite, but like there's some comparison there a little bit, and like she just couldn't be in that world anymore, and she really wanted to become a human. Like before she was like, no, I'll take the high heel again, and then Barbie was like, you can't choose. You know, and that I kind of related that almost to like coming to Providence. Like once you learn like the word, you're like, I can't go back. You know, I really can't go back. But yeah, I just loved that part.
The Barbie movie's so good.
Hi, Barbie. I know people take it really superficially, but one thing I really did like about this movie and this director was that she made it camp and really cheesy and corny, but then she also took the time to make it really heartfelt where people can relate to it. And then that's why I think a lot of people cried, like you said, Kat, because they don't have that connection with God. And when we see the movie, we're kind of hopeful. You were confused at first, but you know, after you keep watching it a few times.
After the second time, I was like, oh, now I realized why I cried. Because I was crying, but I didn't know why.
Like we're kind of like, we're almost glad that we know that, you know. And I remember another person who watched the movie with us, they were like, I just feel sad for everybody else. Yeah. Because they're kind of stuck in Barbie land almost. Right. You know? And all these people who are watching this movie, while you get something out of it now, they'll probably forget about it in a few months. And that message, I was sad. Like that deep message of like humanity and God and like being yourself will just be lost on them, and they'll be in the same cycle again.
100%.
And it's,
100%. That's why the first time I watched it, and even the second time when I finally understood why girls were feeling so sad, when I first walked out of the movie, I was just sad because just like Barbie was telling Ken, like, no, you can just be yourself. Like, it's not Barbie and Ken. In the same way, so many people in the world, they're so focused on finding someone to love. It's not God. It's not themselves, even. No. Not even. Even though we have this whole, like, love yourself culture, it's all tied to if I love myself enough, then someone will come and love me. It's all about the other person. So I was so sad because there was girls in the theater that, you know, all girls are beautiful and they were so cute and they were so pretty, and I was like, did they understand that they don't need a guy? Like the purpose of creation, like you don't, it's God that you need. It's not another guy to make you feel pretty or complete. You just need God. And I was like, these girls don't understand. That's how I felt. That's what I was frustrated on the first time.
But I am grateful that a movie like this has come out, because it's going to get people thinking, and the right people who are prepared will find Jesus. Will. They'll realize, oh yeah, my life is more than just, you know, physical things. And I think it will awaken a lot of women to what you just said about, you know, I think a lot of people think that their life is meaningless if they don't find their Eve or their, you know, Adam, right, per se. And yeah, so I really hope that people can start questioning things a little bit more in society and through movies like this.
Was there a scene that you really liked or connected to spiritually?
I was going to say the same scene.
Oh yeah. The ending one or the grandma bench?
Yeah, the grandma bench. Yeah. Maybe the speech. I really like the speech. I think what Glory was saying is very true. I was thinking about myself in the workspace, like how much I try to make myself small, but when I'm small, I'm told that I'm too big. When I'm small, I'm told that I'm too small, and then I'm told to be bigger, but then when I'm big, they're like, no, quite, like, tone it down. It's too much. Wow. Because there's, like, you know, it's because of authority and, like, power hierarchy and, like, maybe less than just about being a woman, but I do think being a woman has a lot to do with it. And so I just felt sad hearing her, because I was like, that's me. Like, I can't ask for a raise because then it's crass, right? But if I don't, then, you know, like,
you're struggling.
Struggling. And so many different things like that. The pressure that women have on or put on, themselves, or
Right.
if society puts on them,
Yeah.
is extreme. And I agree, it's not to the degree that men have to struggle with, but
Right.
I do think that the movie kind of catered to everyone, like whether you're Christian, whether you're not Christian, whether you're a man or you're a woman or your grandma, right, or like whatever. Everyone got their say, and that's what was the purpose of it, to depict the different perceptions and arguments that have been going on Twitter for the last decade or so about Barbie and women's standards and men's standards. And I think our debate shouldn't be about like, oh, like men are like this and women are like this, or that shouldn't be like the purpose of I think the movie or having discussions of the Barbie movie, but more about how can we all come together, be harmonious and love God better, and overcome all these physical things that in the end really won't matter, for eternity.
I agree 100%. Lastly, for me, I don't know if it really, it's tied together with the fact that I was saying that girls are so focused on guys and guys are focused on girls, or vice versa.
Whatever.
It reminded me of the question that Pastor Sky asked. What was the question that he asked? Do you have it? Yeah.
Sorry.
But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because the scene I'm talking about is when all the Barbies get brainwashed, or they're under the control of the what was it called? Kendom?
The Kendom?
The
yeah.
Kendom.
Or something like that.
Under the Kendom. They all get brainwashed, and they're all kind of subservient and just taking care of their partner. And of course, they're happy doing it. Women in general, we love taking care of each other, and that also means men. We don't dislike guys. We all like guys. But in the way that the Barbie movie was showing it was that they are not allowing themselves to, one of the girls that was, serving the guys in these tiny little skirts used to be the president. And she was like, oh, I'm so happy I don't have to think about it anymore. But it reminded me of the question that Pastor Sky asked us, and I'll just read it real quick. It says, there seems to be more jealousy and fighting between girls more than guys. Why do you guys think there's a lot more of that stuff that goes on with girls? Which we all kind of had different opinions on. But it just reminded me, that question specifically tied to that section of the movie, or that scene when all the girls were brainwashed. In the world, you're going to see girls that are jealous. I kind of agree, which you guys might not, but we all have different lives and opinions, but I kind of do agree that girls can be a little bit more jealous and catty than guys would be outwardly. I think guys also experience jealousy.
They definitely are on the inside.
Yeah, but they just don't vocalize it. But girls, we have to say everything that we feel, right? We like to talk, and we're very emotional, we like to share, and that's a great aspect of girls.
I will say, I think why you think that is because women, we reflect more on ourselves.
Probably.
And then so when you reflect more in a negative light, and you don't have that positive influence or a positive something coming at you, then your reflections are going to be negative. True. And you are going to compare yourself. And then that's where that jealousy comes in, because you feel inadequate. Which is why 100% that's true, which is why I think for girls that are in the world or that are focused on guys, like we were talking about, just like the Barbies in that scene when they were brainwashed, they were solely focused on how can I get Ken's attention. So when that happens and your focus is not correct, then you are going to get jealous, and you are going to start comparing yourselves, because you're like, oh, she's wearing that skirt, I wonder why. Instead of, oh, she's wearing that skirt, it's so cute. You're comparing yourself, and you're getting jealous, and you're getting catty and getting petty. But the thing that I love about Providence, which is probably why I was so confused, because my mentality is Providence. What I love about Providence is that when you come here, your focus is no longer the opposite sex or anything else. It's just God. So now you're no longer, why do you need to be jealous? You should be happy for your sister in Christ, as one of our friends says. You should be happy for the other Barbie. You should be happy she's a Nobel Prize winner. You're going to be happy she's a director. You're going to support each other, and you're going to love each other. So when your focus is God,
then those perhaps poor qualities of girls or that jealousy factor no longer is playing a role. Like, it's not there anymore. And maybe it is, but just like Alva was saying, we're so reflective. And if you keep having the word telling you to repent and reflect and throw away your thoughts, then eventually that's going to get rid of it. So I do agree with the statement that there are some girls in the world that act like this and are probably more jealous, but just vocal with it. I'm sure guys are just as jealous too.
Yeah, come on. You guys are also jealous too. You guys just don't say anything. And you guys just are
a lot of jealousy.
Yes, I know. Literally, I remember Pastor Sky said something that guys with like the power thing. I mean, you guys are jealous of power or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
true.
It's just a different version of that, whatever that focus is.
Yeah.
You know, we're all human beings.
So So like I was saying, in the world, probably definitely more jealous, catty behavior.
Oh my gosh! In the Barbie movie, Ken, they were jealous of each other. He was jealous of him. That was like such a. And then all the girls, they were jealous of each other because we have our center wasn't. Yes!
The focus was for the greater good.
Yes, the focus was like supporting each other
Yeah.
and like loving each other and being like, girl, you did that. Like, you look so good and like, let's go out. And then, but the Kens, they were
focused on Barbie.
They were focusing. And then the blonde Ken and then the Asian Ken, like, he was like, the blonde Ken was like, oh, Ken's doing this, and oh, why did Barbie look at him? And then that's how the Barbies at the end switched.
That's what Greta did. She like
they switched it around. Remember at the end, the campfire scene.
They're
like, okay, we're gonna make him jealous.
Yeah.
So they like were switching.
That was so dumb.
And then they had to fight at the end,
which is iconic.
Yes, because men are jealous. They are also jealous of each other. How do you think kingdoms have been like? Why were they conquered? They were jealous of each other's land and power. Yeah. You guys also are jealous. It's just different. You guys will we'll burn down villages and we'll just call each other names.
Which is why we love
not
guys
like now. You guys will
Providence.
burn down villages now. I meant like back in the day.
Yeah.
Like in the medieval times.
Yeah. But it's true, that's why just coming to Providence in general is so beneficial, I think, for both sexes, guys and girls. Girls can now stop focusing on guys being jealous and catty, comparing ourselves, and we're focused on becoming beautiful like the Holy Spirit and harmonious. And then when guys come, they literally get to learn how to be like God and lead in a good way, in a loving way, how to not be comparing themselves or have poor competition. I think competition's good, but like competition in a way that's loving and actually building one another up.
Like the soccer tournament.
Yeah. Yes! I hope you guys are going to the soccer tournament. I want to see you guys there. But yeah, so that's I think our answer to the question that Pastor Sky had. Did you want to add anything else, Kat?
I just think it's important to, if you do ever experience jealousy, to turn it into admiration. And turn it into a something that you can use to reach a higher level. Like, oh, she's so pretty. Well, then, I don't know, like, try to work on your self-esteem then, so that you also feel as beautiful as that person.
Right. Yeah. Providence is a really loving place.
So we had to spread the love around, because as soon as you let that seed take hold, it's in you. And literally, like the message said, like throw away everything that is like not needed and correct your thoughts, because just that one little thing can really harm you, and God knows that.
Literally the purpose of creation, realizing your value, realizing God's love. That's everything, right? Media. Well, first, shameless plug for Kat's media.
Yes.
Once again, the blog. You should have already followed it.
I have a Barbie
Insert
review
here.
up there, so make sure to read it. I talk a lot about the same things I shared on here, so I won't get into it, but make sure to check it out. This Counterpart Life.
So also shout out to Mariah's Deeper Than Dance. She has a bunch of wonderful dancing videos. Go support her. It's at Deeper Than Dance. I think it's by the same name. At Instagram. Deeper Than Dance.
Insert.
Hello. So game break, and mukbang. Or mukbang? I don't know how to say it. Anyway, so we have right here.
Can you see? Show it to the camera. Show the people.
We have a spicy corn dog. We have a potato corn dog, and then a sweet corn dog, which I don't know if you can guess which one. Try to guess which one.
I would love to see the comments if people were like, Well, you're gonna see who's eating what anyway.
Yeah, oh,
But,
that's true.
you
Comment
know-
down below who's you think says who's. They match our personalities. Oh, we got you.
Mm.
If you don't like people chewing while talking, I suggest you skip this section.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Or
But-
making noises.
While we're eating, we're gonna be doing Barbie quizzes. See what type of Barbie we are. I don't have my phone around.
Or to figure out, it goes together with our Barbie review, a Barbie quiz.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Kat,
Okay.
you can go first.
All right. Okay, it's on. All right. Favorite singer. Taylor Swift, obviously.
Mm.
Had a big obsession with her since 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
Which of these words best describes you? Loyal, friendly, stylish, helpful. Loyal? Friendly?
You're so friendly.
I would say friendly.
Okay.
You're so friendly.
Pick a. Okay, I thought I was like really introverted, so nobody thought I was friendly.
No.
Okay, pick a U.S. state to live in. Texas is not on here. Well, I guess California, since it's the next biggest. No, too hot. Florida. What's Colorado? Yeah.
Colorado really have the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Out of these, which is your favorite pet? Dogs. I have 2 dogs. I don't like cats. Ironic.
She's 2 little rat
Continue.
dogs, by the way.
Sorry.
Just like Judith. No, rat dogs? What's up with that? Sorry.
No offense to Max.
Max is a terrier mix, and then I have Solovina. She's a Chihuahua,
Mm-hmm.
so she is a little. Max is very scruffy. Anyway, what do you do in your free time? Scroll through TikTok and watch Netflix. Play sports with friends. Go shopping. Plan your next vacation. TikTok and Netflix.
Yeah.
Sad
That's gonna
face.
be all of us.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Lastly, who's your favorite Barbie character? Stereotypical Barbie: Ken, Sasha, Gloria, Alan, CEO of Mattel.
He was kind of like.
Weird Barbie.
What's your favorite from the movie?
I'm gonna go with Alan.
Oh,
He
in
was-
the
he was
spirit
good.
of Judith, because she
Is that
really
okay?
liked Alan. Yeah.
You got Ken!
Oh my god! You have a funny personality, and you might even be an incredible singer. Oh, that was too loud.
That was amazing. That's
Wait,
super
that's
accurate.
so true! Oh my
That's
god!
so accurate.
The
OMG!
picture too.
That's so cute.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna do mine next, and then I guess Abba will go. Okay. So the BuzzFeed quiz that we decided to do was titled "Tell me a little about yourself," and I reveal the Barbie character you most embody. So if you guys also want to play this quiz, you can look up that title, and then you can let us know in the comments what your Barbie or
Smart.
Ken
Smart.
that you got. That'd be so cute to do. Oh, actually, I'd love Pastor Sky to do this. and
Yes.
see what he gets. I'm gonna say stereotypical Barbie. Okay, so the first question goes: pick your favorite singer. We got Justin Bieber, Harry Styles, Taylor Swift, and Lana Del Rey. Lana, my queen.
Oh god.
I watched her in high school, so that tells you a little bit about myself. Okay, moving on. Which of these words best describes you? Loyal, friendly, stylish, and helpful. I'm in between loyal and stylish. What do you guys think?
That's kind of hard.
Because I feel like I'm very stylish.
You are very stylish, but you also are very loyal.
Like, if I'm your friend, I'm your friend. Like, we don't
Well,
need to
I-
talk for months and I'll still be your friend. I'm like, what's up?
Maybe loyal. Yeah.
Loyal?
Yeah.
Pick a U.S. state to live in. Florida, California, Washington, and Colorado. The only reason why I'm choosing California is because I have family and I'd love to see the church. The church was really nice there. Otherwise, I would not go to California. No hate. It doesn't rain. So I like the rain a lot. Okay. Which out of these is your favorite pet? Dog, cat, rabbit, or fish? Cat. 100%. They don't bother me. I bother them. It's a great time. I do. No, I have
Nope,
three
my god,
cats.
she's 3
That's
cats.
true.
I have a super old, spiteful cat. He's
Yeah.
my favorite. Coffee. And then I have Frappe, who's like an outdoor-indoor cat. And then Exo, our little teenager black cat. He's super cute. And then, what do you do in your free time? Scroll through TikTok and Netflix. Well, I don't watch Netflix. I watch illegal sites, but...
Don't say that.
Sorry.
Okay.
And lastly, who's your favorite Barbie character? For me, it would have to be the CEO of Mattel.
Really?
Will Ferrell.
I love the
He's
quote.
so funny.
The quote when he was like, he said, "What do you think? I do this for like money? I do this for the hopes and dreams of all the little girls," or something like that.
In the least creepiest way possible.
That one was the best one.
So funny. Or in the meeting when he had those drumsticks, he's just holding on to them. And they told him that Barbie got out, and he was like, That was so funny.
I really
Anyway,
like Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell's so funny. Okay, so the person I got was Sasha.
Oh,
And it reads, you
Nice.
might get caught up in blending with the crowd at times, but you always find a way to shine through when you're with your family and good friends.
Aw.
I don't know how accurate that is, but
I don't know. Sasha is kind of you sometimes.
I guess.
Yeah.
If I feel really
Personality,
comfortable, then I can be
Pretty
Sasha.
strong.
Okay, so now I'm doing mine. So pick my favorite singer. What if I don't like any of these guys?
Oh, okay.
Okay, I will say maybe Justin Bieber more simply for the nostalgia of his old like songs, especially the song with Nicki Minaj.
Oh.
Keep an eye out for Selena. I love that song.
That's so
Yes!
good.
Beauty and the beat, you make my life.
I almost said JB. I love JB.
Okay. Which word describes me? Stylish, loyal, friendly, helpful.
You're also really friendly
Or do you want
and stylish.
And helpful. Wait, you're all of these. Hold on.
I don't know if I'm helpful. I feel like
When you're on time.
she called me out. Anyway,
Stylish.
okay, I'll pick that one. A state to live in. I'll pick California. Well, no, I'd rather live in Colorado, to be honest. My favorite animal. I'm stuck between a dog and a cat because I have a dog and I have two cats. I'll say cat. I slightly lean more towards cats. I do my free time. Well, I do like to scroll through TikTok. I do love to go shopping. I go online.
true.
I go online
No,
shopping.
you do, yeah.
So much. I window shop. Like it's not even funny. Okay, who's my favorite Barbie character? Stereotypical Barbie. Who is Ruth?
Oh,
The pregnant one, right?
the old
No.
grandma, I think, right?
Oh, the
wait,
old
no.
lady.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was Ruth. Ruth was the old lady who made Barbie. The creator.
Okay, I kind of did like Alan too. Like he was pretty funny. When he like beat up all the guys.
That was good.
Once they figure out how to build sideways, it's over.
Whoa.
And then I remember in the theater when I found out that it was Michael Cera, I literally screamed.
Oh,
you guys
you
remember?
did,
I
yeah.
did.
It was so funny.
Okay, I'll pick that one. I also got Ken.
I'm just
You are an
Ken.
incredible singer, actually.
No.
Yeah, you should be like.
No.
I'm telling you.
I definitely am Ken though. I'm super. Except the massaging part. But anyway.
When love she sees a friend. Such a good song.
So guys, rate your corn dog, Rachel. What do you rate your corn dog?
Oh, okay. Corn dog. Well, I really like spicy stuff. Very seasoned things. So 10 out of 10. 10 corn dog fingers.
Okay.
10 out of 10. I like sweet foods because Salvadoran food is sweet. I can't handle spicy. I don't really like Mexican food. Anyway. I mean, I do. I can eat it, but like. Yeah.
Me? Yeah. 10 out of 10. Always 10 out of 10. Corn dog can never go wrong with corn dog. In my opinion, my favorite food.
That was the first thing I ate today.
Me
Me
too.
too.
Girl dinner.
Girl lunch. Girl brunch. It is brunch. Girl brunch. Girl. Let's harmonize.
Oh my god.
Girl brunch.
I can't do it.
Somebody gets high. Who's in the middle?
One,
Who's low?
two. Oh, all three of us.
Oh.
One.
Wait, we're doing it? We're saying this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going high. I'm going high.
I'll go middle. Well, we're both kind of middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm not so.
1, 2, 3.
Girl brunch.
It's brunch.
Oh god.
It's brunch. You know,
Leave that in. Leave that in. That was funny.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Girl brunch.
Girl brunch. You guys.
I almost said girl dinner. Like, it just
You
said
guys kill me.
I thought we were just doing it once.
No, you gotta do girl, because the whole, that's like,
too
okay,
much.
let's do it once. Let's do it
Too
once.
much.
Okay,
Just
fine. Go once. 1, 2, 3, go.
Girl brunch. That was good. Okay.
What do you mean?
Hi, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Welcome back to our podcast. Okay, I hope you enjoyed our little game break. I hope that you also can submit and comment what Barbie you got or Ken that you picked or you got from the BuzzFeed quiz. So now we're going to get back into, we just talked about the Barbie movie, but we also want to talk about worldly media in general and kind of how it either connects or goes against Providence culture and your thoughts on it. So our very first question. Now, what does your For You page, let's say for TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, what does that say about you? Go ahead and pick one of those.
No, I'm just Who wants to go first?
You know, I've thought about this before a lot. Like, what would people think if they saw my Instagram? But I feel like they would think I'm very self-centered because I have so many selfies. But like,
I don't think you
it
do.
is. You don't think so?
No, I don't think you do. Let me
Let's
see.
I don't know. Like, all of the pictures are of me, you know. But I guess that's the purpose. So
No, I've seen some where it's just like the same picture like 50 million times.
So I don't know. My For You page is kind of crazy, but
What?
Yeah, what do you have on it? Give us the tea.
a
Miraculous
lot
Ladybug?
of yes, right now. A lot of jokes, a lot of Mexican, Ladino jokes. I would say Mexican. I'm not
The
Mexican.
memes, the memes
Well,
that
yeah.
Judith sends you,
Yeah,
and that
the
fills up
memes.
your,
Yeah.
like the little quick memes where it's like a dog that's like sitting on a couch and it's like me on Saturday or
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Does
What
that
about you guys?
Yours seems pretty tame. Mine's a little crazy. But now I'd say my For You page on Instagram. My For You page is a lot of art. I love following artists, like all different kinds of art, sculptures, paintings, digital art. Like it's just art, like literally. My YouTube again is just like video essays, like movies, video essays, and then like a few goofy videos and just like news stuff, like people retell the news. And my TikTok is just chaos. You don't need to know. No, I'm just kidding. Like cats and dogs and stuff like that.
Stuff like that. For me, my Instagram and my TikTok are very similar. It's all K-pop.
Oh.
K-pop idols, K-pop music, K-pop edits is so funny. It's so awesome. I love it so much. Does God like it? Probably not as much as I like. I probably should do less. Let's be honest. Let's be real. But I love it. I'm addicted to K-pop stuff. Not as bad as I was before, but yeah. So it's a lot of K-pop edits, a lot of funny, weird kind of jokes. I have a lot of science stuff that comes up on my
makes
TikTok
sense.
too.
Yes.
Like, oh, look at this new black hole images that they found,
Oh, yeah.
or they have a picture of the moon and Jupiter and Saturn. Things like that I have on my TikTok. So yeah, on my YouTube, I also like watching video essays. I also really like film theory, food theory. I like
yes.
sciencey stuff. I
Should be
love
talking all about
lore,
the theory
the
videos.
lore. I love history. So that's what my YouTube is mostly of. Science things, educational things. I love learning things. And then I go to TikTok and Instagram to rot my brain. Yeah.
Very on brand. For me, it's, now that I think about it, YouTube is just like music. Like just, I love musical theater and music. So
Yeah.
self-care stuff too. I
Very
love
on
self-care.
brand.
Yeah.
Okay, so now this is Judith's question. Let me just state that. On your Instagram, do you post often? Why? Or do you find yourself stalking people?
I be stalking people. I'm sorry. I barely post. If you guys know, I'll like post like once a year, and
Yeah.
it'll be like a photo, and I'll be like, okay.
Is there a reason why you don't post as much?
I just don't. I'm bad with social media. I'm bad at
Oh,
posting.
I
It takes me like 5 days to be like, do I want to post this or not? And then like I'll either do it or I won't.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just I literally post mostly once a year whenever we have our birthday photo
True.
shoots, and that's it.
Yeah, those are iconic. I post on my stories really, and it's just like daily life stuff. I have a close friends story, but that's where I post like my crazy stuff, like who I really am. And then my main page is just me like posting about God or cute things. And then I post for my blog too. So
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not usually stalking people. Judith stalks people.
She does.
If you didn't understand that question, that's because she stalks the people. She knows everything. We call it the FBI. Like,
Yeah.
she'll come up to you and be like, why were you at T-Top yesterday at 5:30 p.m. with so-and-so? And you're like, whoa! How did you know?
Exactly.
Judith used the internet to her advantage. But for myself, I've recently gotten into the habit, I enjoy posting. And specifically, there's 2 reasons. I really love, sometimes I'll just go on my Instagram and I'll look at all of our pictures, like when we went to San Antonio and things like that. I'm like, so cute.
I'm in the scene.
I'm like,
I
so cute.
I do that on my Instagram too.
Yeah.
It's mostly for me, to be
Yeah.
honest, so that I can look back at the
Yeah.
photos.
That's
Like
it.
the Hawaii videos, I rewatched those.
Yeah.
Like I've probably watched like 50 times.
Yeah,
And I'm the one who made the video.
Yeah. But I use my Instagram as, I call it my memory wall almost, because I don't have a lot of, this is my second part, I don't have a lot of storage in my phone. So all the pictures and stuff that I know I have to eventually delete, I just think, oh, I'll put it on my Instagram and it'll always stay there as long as I don't get hacked. Fingers crossed. And I can look back and I can reminisce and look on the good times and the bad times and the just happy times. And so I like looking at my Instagram.
Please get Google Photos though.
Yeah,
Google
Google
Photos.
Photos.
Google Photos.
Oh, but you know, she already ran out of the storage.
Yeah.
Can you believe
Oh my
that?
Yeah.
I have like
Wow.
a million
I have
of photos
so
in there.
much.
I don't know how she did that.
I don't know.
You know, I actually had to buy the
I'm not gonna
Google.
buy anything.
I did because I have
I'm
so
cheap.
much
Oh,
stuff.
no.
I have so much stuff.
Your
So
Instagram
cheap.
gets deleted and you're done.
Well,
She said, "And you're done." Well,
don't
let's
say.
write it out.
Pray
Don't
for
get
me that my
deleted.
Instagram is, because that's my memories. That's where all my happy stuff is. Do y'all have a favorite social media platform?
TikTok.
Instagram.
I'm sorry, I just love
I
TikTok.
think I like TikTok too. It's
just
addictive.
so funny.
It's
like,
a problem.
there's so many funny people on there. I just laugh and laugh and laugh. I have a timer. Guys, don't worry. I like during COVID, I will say that timer Sunset would have been so disappointed in me. I remember the message. He was on the screen. He was like, "You guys be setting 4 hours on your phone?" And I was like, "Oh, Sunset, it's 12." I was like, "I'm so sorry."
She said that's 12 hours multiplied by 3.
Like, and then I was like, "Oh, okay. I need to put a timer on this."
Yeah.
So I think at that time, because I was on TikTok for hours. So
It's addictive.
I put like a 15-minute timer on it. It went up a little bit. I think it's like 30 minutes now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Is there any shows or movies, music that y'all are really into? Kat already knows.
Yeah.
What?
Go right now.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
We're geeking while we're watching
Yeah.
it. We're like, oh my gosh.
We watched
It's so
it. We
cute.
watched the movie on Judith's birthday party, which was a couple days ago, and they were freaking out about the movie. It was
It's
so fun.
good.
We
It
were
was
gonna
cute.
watch Elemental, but then I was telling God in my head, like, I don't want to watch it. And it didn't work.
And it didn't work.
So we ended up watching back.
But she's already seen 3 other times. But
Yeah.
It was super cute.
was.
And the songs, you can explain it better,
Yeah.
Kat.
The songs just, you could really relate them to your life of faith. Yeah. Like, it's really about this girl who has, like, no courage, no strength, you know, like, low self-esteem. But then she, you know, gets this superpower. She becomes the ladybug, right? And through that, she's able to, grow confident and find more meaning and purpose in her life. And, like, really build her own home, I think, in this world. And she finds love, too, which... Anyway, but
we're girls. We like love.
love stories. But I always relate the songs to God. Even the love stories, I'm thinking about God.
Yeah.
So I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, but you enjoy a lot of movies, shows, songs that are all about, like, either self-care, self-empowerment. There's a lot of those songs that we watched in that movie.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
are
pretty
super
much.
believe in yourself and you can do it even if you feel like you can't. And then the music you listen to is also very, like,
Yeah, musical theater, like Disney stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we're Disney adults. Sorry, guys. We're Disney adults all the
Disney
way.
so good.
Yeah. And then worship, a lot of worship songs too.
Yeah.
Movies and shows, I really like kid stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I really like cartoons and animation,
Mm-hmm.
because usually the real people movies are just sad and depressing, and like I'm just like, why do I want to be sad? Like, I'd rather just be happy. But even at the kid movies, I'd be crying. I'd be crying at the kid movies, like, for real.
True.
What was the last movie I cried to? Over the Moon on Netflix, the Chinese animation movie. That made me cry. Like, the entire film. I was bawling the whole time. It's so good. It's really good. I think I mostly like animated movies because it's like really, when it's like shaping kids, it's like showing them good messages, but it's like about family and like the power of love. I think that's why I really like them. Like Sailor Moon, like the whole thing is about love. Like in every single show, it's always like the power of love, the power of friendship. You know, My Little Pony. I just love that. I love like the friendship and the cuteness and I'm
Friendship.
yeah.
For myself, I feel like I watch a wide variety of shows in general. There are things I definitely don't watch. Like, I don't really watch comedies that much or kids shows.
No, she doesn't really
As
like
much.
good shows.
I'm not into it. I'll watch it. I'm very accepting, I like to think.
Accepting, tolerant would be the word.
Of things. For myself, shows. I recently got into Korean reality shows. Those are funny. I don't enjoy things like video games because I feel like I'm wasting my time.
Except Nancy Drew.
Because I feel like I'm not wasting my time. Because if I can do something, I'm the type of person I always have to be productive so that I can feel good about myself. So if I don't feel as though I'm productive, then I can't enjoy myself. So even if it's like, oh, relax, watch a movie.
It has to be like a nature documentary.
Yeah, it has to be something beneficial to me. So the kid shows are really sweet. Otherwise, but I'm like, okay, I already know.
I feel like I benefit from those.
Yeah, they are beneficial. But for me, some of my favorite movies that I will watch again and again, like Hacksaw Ridge. I like war movies. I like historical, non-fictional movies because I can relate to some way, or I can learn from their mistakes. You know, like Hacksaw Ridge. It was about.
They made me watch that.
It was
I
so
was like,
good.
I was like, can we fast forward?
It was a Christian guy.
I literally asked to fast forward it because I was like, I'm like about to barf. I'm like about to barf, guys.
It was very graphic. But essentially, it's a Christian guy, and he goes to war, and then he saves all these people because he believes in God.
Wow.
And it's just so moving. It's so moving. So whenever I watch shows like that, it makes me, I believe in God even more. Oh, I feel convicted. Those are the types of shows that I watch, where I can feel productive, or I feel as though I can gain something. Yeah, Korean reality TVs, I feel like I can gain just
Really? What?
like laughing at them. That's a lot of fun.
It's just because they're like real people.
Yeah, it's because they're real people,
Okay.
and I like to connect
With people.
So with the Korean reality TV show I'm watching right now, it's called Marriage Wars.
I don't know.
It's so cute. It's just you're watching couples and how they interact with each other, and I feel as though I can watch and be like, oh, I shouldn't do that with, even if it's not like my boyfriend or anything. Oh, I shouldn't say that to a guy because he would take that offensively. Because sometimes they'll be like, she said this to me and it was so rude how she said it. Or the girl too. It's like, oh, I need to be more sensitive when I'm talking to girls in this situation. So anywhere where I can take information and learn from and reflect and grow, I enjoy doing that. So those are shows and things that I connect to or enjoy watching.
I will say, I do like to watch some reality TV shows, like on Netflix, Well, we don't really like Netflix.
Boo,
Netflix.
Netflix.
Boo, boo, boo. But before, I used to watch the Love is Blind or The Circle or what's that? The Ultimatum. Although not really The Ultimatum. The Ultimatum kind of sucks.
So the trash reality?
I like the trashy realities. Also Jersey Shore. I used to watch the Jersey Shore all the time.
Providence.
Because they're just like, I don't know. I just look at them and I marvel. I'm just like, wow.
If they're
Why'd
fighting,
you do that?
I want to watch it. I like cooking shows too.
Oh, the
Hell's
Great
Kitchen.
Great British Baking Show.
That one's cute.
Great Baking Show.
There you go. Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Mm-hmm. It's so
Okay,
good.
wait. I actually like watching the game shows.
Those are fun
Like
too.
where it's like, oh, they have to bake a cake, or they have to make this decoration, or they have to plant one. They have to make this sculpture in like
those are
5
fun.
days or whatever. I love
That's
those.
so crazy.
Because I feel productive with them.
Yeah.
Shark Tank. That's it.
I don't like Shark Tank. if it's negative and like they're fighting, I feel bad. Just give them
when I
money.
was younger, so maybe I didn't think it was that negative. Anyway.
Okay. Well, that gives you a little bit of about insight into what we like and how our personalities are. I think they really relate to who we are as people.
It's so funny how we always kind of bring it. We watch something, we're like, God.
Yeah, well, because we're Providence people. Okay. Our next question is, how specifically does media influence yourself, your life of faith, and just your overall spiritual well-being? Go ahead, Kat.
Well, I think it's important to have a balance. I definitely did not have that before coming to Providence, so I tried to lessen the amount of media that I consumed. There was a period when I came that I just really was just focused on God and didn't watch any movies, didn't listen to any music, and just solely like filled myself with the Word and filled myself with Providence art and music. And I think that's really important, but once you reach a certain point where you know you can control yourself and you know yourself enough, you're filled with the Word enough to know right from wrong, then it's our responsibility to make sure that we're not consuming too much media and that it's not consuming us, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Was it hard for you to cut off that stuff?
Oh yeah, definitely. I had a lot of, I used to watch telenovelas a lot with my mom, like Betty and La Fan, like the New York one, and I would watch that, like every day, and and with my mom. But then I told her, like, Mom, maybe we should just start reading the Bible together. You know, that should be like the thing we do together. And and we do watch shows here now and then, but because that show was so focused on like love and you know, opposite sex, that's when I realized, oh, it's affecting my thoughts. So in order for me to overcome this issue of feeling like, oh, I have this void in my heart and I need to fill it with, you know, the opposite sex, then I need to cut this off, or I need to make sure I watch it less, or you know, find some other Christian or Providence alternative.
That's how I feel that too. Like, you need to like, you have to be responsible for what you watch. I know for me, like, even now I can't, like, I do like watching TV, I won't lie, you know. But I did definitely cut off a lot of things. Like, even though I still consume quite a bit of media, I did cut off like a lot of things that, like, I would watch it and I'm like, oh, like, you can feel in your spirit, you're like, never mind, like I don't need to watch that anymore. Like Jersey Shore, I'll never watch it again. You know. And then also certain songs, because I used to I still kind of am, like, I really like metal music, but some of it afterwards I was like, oh, like the message behind the lyrics that they're singing, I could feel it in my spirit, and I was like, no, I have, like, this isn't like for me anymore, you know. And while I still like some of them, I kind of transitioned to more of like the Christian rock bands or whatever, because they have a good meaning behind their like songs, and so that was you know, better. And again, I really think it is just like knowing yourself and knowing what, like, should I watch this or not? Because again, our souls are influenced by what we feed ourselves, and so that affects our thoughts, and then again, that can just
lead to action.
Exactly, that can lead to action if you let it go so far, right?
Thoughts are life. Something Em always says, that thoughts are life.
I think it is really important when you are ingesting whatever type of media, to be mindful of who you're watching. I think we touched on that a little bit already, but yeah, it is important for creators, especially for us, because I guess we're creators now. But any creator, you know, like Pastor Sky, The Man Cave, the other Provipuff channel, we are all representatives of Providence, so it is important what we say. And we, you know, we're only trying to show the best and, you know, God's love and things like that. So there is responsibility on us, but it is also important. Yeah, what are you watching? If you realize that it is affecting you, then as a viewer, it is important that you can take that responsibility and reflect and be like, maybe I shouldn't watch this, or maybe I should stop scrolling so much on TikTok, which is what I have
timers.
I have to tell myself every single day because it is really hard.
Yeah.
And I think Providence, personally, I mean, growing up in Providence as second gen, I never felt I had to cut off everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never felt the need, you can't be on your phone at all, or you can't be on media. I mean, my mother was more, she didn't like it if I was watching PewDiePie and he would cuss every so often. She didn't like that.
He cusses a lot. That's not very safe.
She wasn't into
That's
that.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Most moms wouldn't like
Yeah.
even if they're not Christian. Yeah.
I still love PewDiePie. Anyways, but I never felt the need to completely cut off everything. So I do believe that Providence does teach finding balance. Can you lessen how much you're on media? Can you react or listen to the appropriate sources? Should you always be listening to people that are talking about drama and stirring up hot tea, or should you always be watching K-pop and looking at the guys? That's at me. So I think it's important to find that balance in your life, because media can really get away from you. I mean, it's easy for me to be on my phone for 2 hours, without a doubt, like 100%. So it is important to do that, to focus. And recently too, with the message and just listening to Pastor Sky's podcast and ours and the other members that are also on MSD Drive, I find myself having a harder time listening to other people, creators in the world, because there's no substance. They just talk about the most random things.
Yeah.
And even if you aren't religious, you can look at the world and see how kind of terrible and messed up it is. I mean, the fires in Hawaii, realtors trying to take the land from those people that just lost. Yeah, the government trying to take. Like, there's so education. I'm a teacher, so I know all about the education drama, all the issues that are happening in the world that could be fixed if people came together and focused on that, but instead we're focused on, oh my god, look at Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber, and they're wearing completely different outfits.
Selena Gomez or whatever.
Like, we're so focused. For me, I'm like, why do we even have celebrities? We don't need, like, take their money away. No, I'm kidding. They worked hard for it. Whatever. But there's just so many things that could be fixed if we focused, or our center was different. Just like we were talking with the Barbie movie. There's issues when you're not focused or centered on the right thing. So if we as a society, again, religious or not, could focus on bettering the world, it would be so much greater. But that is why I like listening to Providence podcast and media, because we are focused on having fun, but then our core is always, like, there's a purpose.
Yeah.
We have substance. It's not just whatever. Yeah, like there's God here at our core. Like, that's what we're trying to show. So that's how I feel about media.
One thing that I wanted to add onto that, I remember I was talking with a newcomer one time, and she was telling me how she was on TikTok and that how she had to kind of get off of TikTok because she felt like her opinions were being swayed by the TikTok she was watching, like whether it was just something inconsequential, like inconsequential.
That's a hard word to say.
Consequential.
Consequential. That word. Like a some drama, or like this is what's happening here, or this is what this guy thinks, yada yada yada. She noticed that she would watch that TikTok and she'd be like, oh yeah, I totally do that, and then she'd watch another TikTok that'd be like opposing this person or whatever, and she'd be like, wait, and then she realized that, like, she was so easily swayed by people's voices, and they're just regular people. And me too. And I looked and I was like, I kind of feel that way too sometimes when I'm scrolling through TikTok. I was like, you feel one way, and then I'll see that and I'm like, you take a step back and you're like, oh, okay. And then so I think with media, you have to really be responsible. Like, we are part of the world, so it's fine to, watch a movie here, there, yada yada. But you have to be responsible for your own thoughts.
Yeah, that's so important. Check, really, for Gen Z people, I think TikTok is like Facebook. The moms are on Facebook.
TikTok is the Facebook of Gen Z.
Yeah.
If any of y'all have ever been on TikTok, y'all know those comments are wild, absolutely wild, deranged, delusional.
And you know, we make fun of moms for believing everything that they see on Facebook.
But then we go and do
we're
the same thing on
exactly
TikTok.
the same.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Let's be real. Yeah.
What is it? History repeats itself?
Yes, history does repeat itself. So it is important to check what you see on
Yeah.
media.
Oh, yeah.
Check for misinformation.
And
But
then also, I would say pray to filter out those thoughts at the end of the day. When before you go to bed, be like, God, anything that I do not that needs to get emptied out of my brain, but you know what I mean? Get that out of there. Anyway.
I do agree. Just like Sissa says too, check the word. He never expects us to blindly believe. Like he always says, ask. Ask and learn from me, and I'll tell you. So the whole thing of throwing away your thoughts made me feel like, oh, that's weird. Are you trying to brainwash me? Like, no. That's never a thing. You always are free to ask, free to have your questions. He's always there to teach you. That's why he's a teacher. I tell my kids that all the time. The reason why I'm a teacher is because you should be able to ask me questions. He's the teacher of teachers, so we should always be checking and asking, double checking. So, any other thoughts on social media?
I was just thinking, I heard this one time that when you have negative thoughts, it's important to not just, not let them consume you, but kind of just let them go over your head. And then, don't let the bird's nest build, right? Don't let all of those negative thoughts build up, but just, let them go over your head. Oh, that's Satan's thought, that's not my thought. Yeah. And treat it that way and pray for your thoughts to become aligned with God's.
Yeah.
Which is basically what Allison said.
Water off the duck's back.
Yeah. So I guess to wrap up our second podcast for today, there are a couple words that Judith wrote down that I'm just gonna read because I feel as though they are they're really inspirational. I think everyone should hear these things. She is. Judith's here with us. She's here with us in spirit. So this is Judith. Specifically, she wrote down that from the Wednesday message Proverbs on August 30th, it was all about how to control your thoughts and controlling your thoughts. And it was the Proverbs, and they were talking in great length about the things that we need to filter out, what we see and what we hear and how we do that. And we mentioned that already a little bit, that you should be filtering out with prayer and with the word. And Satsuma is always talking about developing your thoughts, developing your spiritual smartphone and the brain through prayer. That's really important, because if you stop praying, you break off that connection with God, and you don't have that strength anymore, because God is our strength, right? So it's hard for us to control or guard our heart and our thoughts. So instead, always developing, always reflecting, keeping in mind, centered on the word and prayer. That is how we can make ourselves better and become an example for each other, like, supporting, oh my God, hi Barbie, but also for newcomers, those around us, so that we can show Providence in a really positive light to those that we see at work or that we meet at school and things like that. So we really do encourage everybody, Pastor Sky's podcast, along with Provi Music, the Provipuff Girls, Man Cave, Prayer is Life, like all these other resources that are Providence centered, channels, even things like Palm Station. We really hope and encourage everybody to continue listening to those things, finding your balance of worldly media and godly media and centering on God. And we just hope that, like the Sunday message, everyone can feel either inspired to support channels or create your own channels, really, to create that internet ministry. So if you ever want, please feel free to join our podcast, as always, just like we said last time, and ask questions, comment, and like to support the internet ministry that we all are trying to do, centered on God. So, I'm Barbie.
I'm Barbie.
And I'm Barbie.
And we are Provipuff Girls. Yes! Thank you for joining us.
See you next time.
Bye.